Hello and welcome. My name is Coach Pav, and today I'm going to be discussing how cold water therapy can improve your cycling performance. So today I'm going to be discussing something which sciences can be a little bit mixed on, but also there's some popular tools pioneered by some very increasingly popular people, particularly IceMan Wim Hof, and how that can be leveraged in terms of cycling performance. Obviously, the number one factor is, it has been shown in some respects to boost recovery. And obviously, unlike the cost of air compression boots or trousers, cold showers are pretty much free, provided you're already showering, that is. So let's have a look at how cold therapy can help you improve your cycling performance. So as ever, this is if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on your favorite podcast streaming platform, link back to, hopefully I'll put it in the description, but you can go to coachpav.com/blog and search for this blog, because there's some lists which I'm going to rifle off, but it's probably going to be easier for you to read. And obviously there'll be links to scientific papers and other stuff like that, which I will put in the description of whatever you're watching. So just quickly, the research conducted into the Wim Hof method, which for those of you who aren't familiar, check that out. I'll link it in the description. It's really quite interesting. It's just it's just about cold exposure, really. So his method has shown that cold showers and exposure to cold in general, in addition to increasing metabolic rate directly, stimulate the generation of brown fat. Now, brown fat is a specific type of fat tissue that in turn generates energy by burning calories. Cold showers, then, are an effective tool for people who are looking to lose a few pounds. Now, obviously, we're without fixating on losing weight at all. We don't want that. But the majority of people I work with are, the modern day amateur athletes, even the ones that are in the pro region of this, whether Paralympians, world record holders, or stuff like that. They, most of the time they could lose a few pounds. Not talking about a lot, but a little bit. So this can be something which can definitely help accelerate that. But even if you're not looking to lose weight, the interesting thing about this is that actually the methods here could potentially help you with burning fat for fuel. So if you're not aware, obviously, fat is pretty much unlimited potential energy on your body. Even the leanest of professional cyclists or cyclists in general have hours, if not days, worth of fuel, which they can access, provided that they are, body is efficient at accessing that. And obviously, one of the biggest points there is at metabolizing it at a certain intensity of training. So we are suggesting here that actually, due to the cold exposure, it can increase that efficiency in terms of burning fat for a fuel. And then, of course, if you add in the bonus of potentially reducing the time to recover and decreasing the feeling of fatigue, then you're actually potentially taking your cycling to a new level. Now, personally, I've done cryotherapy. Very interesting. Hard to know really whether it was worth it. It can be quite expensive, and obviously the biggest challenge is you've got to find a place that does it. So it's not for everybody. Cold showers are obviously a lot more accessible. Pretty much everybody, if you're listening to this, I'd be very surprised if you didn't have a cold shower. And I'm currently looking as well at getting some form of plunge pool built in my new place. Cold plunge pool, obviously, which some people have made some really cool ones. Like I saw Sean Conway built one out of an old whiskey barrel. Fantastic, right? Little thing, just get it cold ice in there. I forget what temperature it needs to be, but you jump in and there you go. So getting started is pretty simple. You just might not like it. Definitely don't jump straight into a freezing cold shower. And this isn't for some people who have got underlying health concerns. But the way to start building up is 15 to 30-second cold, but not necessarily freezing cold. So not on the coldest setting of your shower. Burst at the end of your shower is a good place to start. Eventually, what you want to do is work up to 90 seconds on the coldest setting, depending on how you feel. And then you can try contrast water therapy, which is where you do 15 seconds cold, 15 seconds hot. Again, obviously not so hot that you burn yourself. And you repeat this for a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, and keep a log of how that works. And do it for 2 or 3 weeks and see if you notice any difference. I mean, I imagine just because of the cold water, you're going to see increases in perceived energy anyway, whether that's actual whether you're just mentally or physically more energetic. Again, back to cryotherapy, I always felt that I felt more energetic afterwards, but obviously that's freezing cold nitrogen that they're pumping in there, and no matter how tall you are, you're still breathing a little bit of that in. So there's potential for that to be one of the reasons why I left with a smile on my face. But let's just go through again. These list is on my website, coachpav.com. The steps to utilize cold water therapy. So follow these steps to improve your cycle and performance. Shower as you normally would. When you are finished, turn the tap cold. Brace for the chill. Turn it back on to your preferred temperature after 15 to 30 seconds, and then repeat a few times. Now, if you're somebody that is doing that already, you can make it harder. Maybe you can get this sorted very quickly. Make it more challenging by turning the temperature colder. Try leaving the temperature colder for longer. And alternating between cold and hot, like I said, obviously making sure you are safe. And then that's it really for the simplest form of cold water therapy. I'm going to talk a little bit about cryotherapy for cycling performance now. Now, I have mentioned this a few times, and for those that are unfamiliar, cryogenics is the science that addresses the production and effects of very low temperatures. The word originates from the Greek words cryos, meaning frost, and genic, meaning to produce. So the science doesn't really suggest that cryotherapy will aid recovery. That's not to say it won't. It just doesn't have many strong links. Certainly not as strong as some of the other ones. So, however, if you look at how popular this is among professional athletes, especially cycling teams, stuff like that, there's something in it. The only thing I will say, like I mentioned, whereas cold water therapy is free, packs of cryo sessions can bill in the hundreds, whether that's dollars or pounds. If you're doing it individually, you're probably talking $50, £30, to $50, something around there for 1 3-minute session. If you go the first time, they're probably not doing 3 minutes with you either. You have to build up to that. But you can get a pack. But the problem, obviously, is you've got to travel time to the cryo salon. I mean, where I am in Southern Orange County at the moment, there's loads about it's almost having a renaissance, actually. It was very big, 10, 20 years ago, kind of went away, and now it's back again. If you have the money and you have one set around nearby, then yeah, absolutely try it. But you could replace cryotherapy, with its cold showers. And the only thing I will say is that actually, when you're in cryotherapy, you are going to do it. If you pay for it, you're going to be in there. Whereas in a cold shower, I know that I am a big baby in terms of that, and often jump out before it's over. So how do you get started? I'm just going to rifle through this. Obviously, these instructions do not replace the instructions of the cryo salon. So make sure you follow what they say. But often you will change this into your underwear. You'll be given hat and gloves, and you'll be guided to the tank. Sometimes there is a first and second tank with different temperatures. I have only ever been to one with one tank. The tank is usually minus 110 to minus 140 degrees Celsius, and you spend between 2 or 3 minutes in there, and that is it. So it's a very quick and effective way of doing it and forcing yourself to do it. So wrapping up this content with a little summary, I think, personally, it's not something that I would recommend unless you are very wealthy and live nearby to one. So cryotherapy is a luxury. And I would definitely, if you're going to spend the money, I would spend the money more on stuff like air compression boots or pants, which I think are fantastic. But even just stretching and foam rolling, massage, the usual stuff, and then cold showers are probably the bit. But let's just talk quickly the benefits of using both cold therapy or cryotherapy, rather than both. But you will see an increased energy and alertness. You'll have better digestion. You'll have delays in stress hormones and reduction in inflammation. And lastly, relieving of sore muscles and pain. So definitely worth getting in the cold shower and following this advice for sure. So thank you. As ever, if you're on YouTube or listening on the podcast, there'll be some links in the description. If you want to come to my website, it's coachpav.com, and have a look around. As ever, I really do appreciate it when you share this with your friends, or leave me a comment or a question, and jump over to our new community. Again, you can go community.coachpav.com, or just come to the website coachpav.com, and there's a link on there. Join in the fun and games, and we'll talk about this as well. So thank you. I appreciate you being here with me. My name is Coach Pav. Have an awesome day.